Sony Animation approached me and they asked if I have any ideas for movies, and I was like, no problem. I have so many. You won't even believe how many I have, and I had nothing. I had zero.
That's crazy.
So I started coming up with ideas that could be animated movies, and I got really excited about one of them, which was combining the thing I love the most, which is my crazy family, and the thing I loved the most when I was a kid, which is killer robots.
Mike was pitching this to Sony.
Don't freak out. I know you're excited.
And it sounded really exciting.
Yeah.
And he was looking for a co-writer, and we knew each other really well from school, and we were really good friends. And I think instead of having some random person assigned by the studio, he was like, can I have Jeff co-write it with me?
Brilliant idea.
Every morning, very early, we would meet up, we would write down a bunch of ideas, and then we would go off, write pages for a couple hours, come back, read them together, go off, write them again, on and on again, 7 days a week for like 2 to 3 years.
Should we all be riding around on scooters, having this meeting?
It was kind of like whack-a-mole, where it's like anytime something got too bad or we didn't like it anymore, we would then rewrite that a bunch of times and kind of level that up to everything else around it, and just kept doing that.
I was just like realizing just when this is being filmed, it's like my whole job is like, is it whimsical enough?
Because it wasn't an original animated movie, we had to like work extra hard to prove ourselves, but we put together a packet with storyboards and a script, and they liked that enough to let us keep going.
Here goes nothing!
The next step after the movie was greenlit was finding a team. When it came to sort of building the team, I was really like, we have to get incredible people that we love.
This was both the first movie that I was the production designer, the first movie that I had any leadership role, and the first time that I did character design.
So this is before, and then this is after. So just pushing the light on Katie, it's getting a lot bolder.
Yep.
Pushing the graphics.
It was very scary in the beginning because everyone was like first, like Mike was first director, I was first time head of story.
I am completely confident.
How's everybody feeling tonight?
Yeah.
Came in the mail last night, this beautiful floor mat.
This is the first feature. I've been doing television animation 18 years, and it's great, it's fun, but I've always wanted to move on to the feature world, and it's really hard.
Wonderful. Your prince, Greg.
I just got out of school, was freelancing for a little bit, and then I got a Facebook message from Mike Rianda, and I thought it was a joke. And I thought, how could someone be so mean? But I looked him up and saw that he was legit, and I came into the office and they hired me.
Yeah! Mike had been my teacher at CalArts, and I said, sure, if Mike wants me to be on the movie, of course I'll join the crew. And a couple days later, I got a message from him and the head of story, Guillermo, who I also knew, saying, hey, we would love for you to come work on Mitchell's. And the rest is history.
Hands in. Mitchell family on 3. 3.
Mitchell family!
A lot of times, the people who are the most passionate are the people that are hungriest, and they've never done it before, and they're like, I've got ideas, and then I'm gonna do this, and then we're gonna mix 2D and 3D. And then, you know, like I'm excited, and they're excited, we're like on the table screaming and chanting.
That maybe can be bigger too, like, he's just blown away, like, it is great hindsight, honey.
It's the best news he's ever gotten in his life.
Yeah, exactly.
There was some sense of like camaraderie where we all were newbies and we were like holding each other's hand, slowly walking toward the goal.
It was exciting. We had a similar energy and it was kind of contagious.
You guys feel this? This is energy.
Lady Munchie, these guys have more clear.
Yes, delightful.
And I think they were approaching it with, we're getting to make a movie. We want to do all these things that we love, that we want to see on screen, that we haven't seen.
I gotta admit, this is actually amazing.
Mike's goal from the beginning was to make it very much about real people and very much observed, true to life, and just have these very dimensional, specific characters based on his real family.
And brought to life by such an amazing, comedically gifted cast.
Who are these unstoppable warriors?
The Mitchell family is really scrappy. They are a little all over the place. I would say really uncoordinated.
The dog is biting my hair!
They're not the perfect family. They don't have that dream life that you see some families having on Instagram.
The Posies are on vacation, and look how happy they are.
I think the Mitchells are really relatable. The disheveled messiness of the Mitchells really is everybody.
Scan those people for flaws. Just because they're not perfect doesn't mean they can't get better.
They're not in perfect harmony. Each one of them is weird in their own way.
And that's what makes us great.
The first character that I started working on was Rick Mitchell. Mike sent me a photo of his dad and a description about the character, and so the costume that he wears in the final movie is what was in the photo of his dad and what was kind of in the first drawing.
Behold! And I was like in awe of Lindsay's drawings, her sketches and everything.
There were a couple of early concept paintings that Lindsay Oliveris had done that were just so beautiful, and we were like, oh man, if we could ever make the movie look like that, we would be in great shape.
We were developing, how do we get this look? How do we do the line? What kind of shading do we want to do? How do we want the hand of the artist to be seen in every frame so it doesn't look like a standard CG render?
After a couple months of testing and a lot of hard work, they really were able to bring that static painting to life.
Seeing it go from a drawing to something in 3D was just super rewarding.
Wow, is this real or?
Christenville came on like 2.5 or 3 years in.
We watched the movie in this very earliest form, and we were absolutely struck by both how funny it was and also how sweet and emotional and heartwarming it was, which are things that you don't often see both of.
Katie!
Oh, dang it!
It was very obvious from that first screening that Mike and Jeff put every idea they had into the film and their whole hearts and had jumped in with both feet, and you just felt the creative energy and enthusiasm and buoyancy in it.
That was amazing!
And they're like, we like it. Would it be okay if we had produced it? And I was like, yeah, Chris and Phil. Like, yes, it would be okay. Because I love their stuff.
You guys are my people.
It was like literally a dream come true to have them working on our movie.
Yeah. We win!
Casting was really fun, but it took a long time because we wanted to make sure we loved everyone.
You love it. You love it.
Casting is interesting in animation because you want to build a family and voices that work really well together and people that are going to bring something to the recording session as well. So you want that kind of comedic energy in the recording.
Katie, it seems like you're not taking this seriously.
What makes you say that?
And that's something that Phil and Chris have always done and really pushed Mike to want to do. It's especially rewarding when you get them and then you get in the room and do the records, and to get even more than you expected is remarkable. They're all amazing.
Give me some nachos now. I don't have any time to wash my hands. Really work into the crevices.
That's exactly how I would imagine it being said, so thank you.
All the recording I did was at home, which in many ways is really nice because you can wear your pajamas, but it really made me realise how incredibly hard it is when you can't rely on your own face or hand movements, little nuances. It's all got to be in the voice, and you've got to rely on these incredible animators to do the rest of the work for you.
End of the world.
Sorry.
False alarm. I was just in there reading. Okay, not excited to hear that.
Some of my favorite memories of working on the movie were in the pitch room or in the brainstorm room specifically. Just lots of jokes flying around. It was sort of encouraged to sort of like pitch your most outrageous idea. Anything goes. Best idea wins this situation. And you know, the whole room would be laughing.
Comedy comes so easy to us.
Working with Mike and Jeff are so fun.
Hey, I like fun.
Trust me, bud, you do not like fun.
No, I really do like it. Everyone says that about me.
Hey, I don't mind people having fun.
And so animated and so passionate that they want to try so many different things and ideas. And we were allowed to do that in the edit.
Put it at the end. And then I think we could do it. We could try a cut down.
We had a whiteboard that was like the things we want to do in the movie. And it was like, love every character, not boring, not confusing or whatever. And one of the check marks was, you know, make the movie look unlike anything that's ever been done before. And I was like, I just showed the art team, I'm like, well, what are we gonna do, guys? And they really stepped up.
One of the amazing things about being at Sony Animation, they were so encouraging of us just trying to do things differently and trying to push the envelope of what you could actually achieve with, you know, 3D feature animation.
Getting to work on something that looks non-traditional from a CG animated standpoint is very refreshing. It's not easy, it's a challenge, but that's what makes it fun.
The technology is finally caught up to the limits of our imagination. And so there's no excuse for making an animated movie that looks like every other one. It's a medium that's begging to have a personalized touch when anything is possible.
Be bold and never play it safe.
Mike wanted the stakes to be real. He wanted the emotion to feel real. And that tells an animator a lot of things right away. Like if a character can jump up and do a cartoony take and zip out of the frame, then there's not a whole lot of threat in those circumstances. And so he wanted them to have like real physical challenges.
Butterfly formation!
No, honey.
I think one of my favorite aspects of the look of the movie is you have two opposite ends of the spectrum. You start the movie with the family in the house where the color palette is very warm, things are very messy in the house, even the line work is very hand-drawn and very messy, and the camera work is much more kind of fluid and human.
And then over the course of the film, we had to sort of evolve it and change it and scale it down and make things sharper and harder edged. So by the time you get to the robot world with Pal and the city, that's the same movie.
I think to be able to have a movie that could go back and forth between those two was really an exciting aspect of this one.
This was one of the most rewarding projects I've ever worked on in my career, and one of the greatest crews I've ever worked with.
Stickers for everyone!
I really felt this like responsibility every day to make sure that everyone who worked on the movie felt proud of it.
The thing that's incredible about this movie is how every single person who came into the movie brought their own love into it. It's not just about my family, it's about all of our families.
We all came together to make this movie. I couldn't be prouder.
You make it easy to approve stuff because you do such an amazing job on every shot all the time. It's like the film of hundreds of people who poured everything into it, that this was able to come together and be such a joy to work on and to turn out so well is remarkable.
You must be super proud.
Yeah, insanely proud.
I have my mom right here. What was your response to the movie?
I loved the way the family came out. I loved everything about it. The mom is really nice. I'm not that nice. I actually loved Aaron too. I thought he was just a little sweetheart.
Do Katie or Aaron remind you of me growing up?
Honestly, both of them are a little bit of you because you were a little bit of a weirdo. And you were just constantly drawing on everything.
That's true.
He's a wonderful, wonderful guy, and he never for 1 minute did not give credit where credit was due, and that made me the proudest as mom.
Well, I love you more than anything, and I hope that this movie feels like a tribute. I might start crying. I hope it feels like a tribute to you guys because that's what it is.
Love you all.
Bye, Mom.